Good morning. Let's do a little I say, you say. It is good.
It is good.
It is good to be here.
It is good to be here.
It is good to be here together.
It is good to be here together.
I love your voices. So welcome. I am Reverend Michelle Buhite, the minister of this congregation. My pronouns, which I offer to create a truly inclusive and brave space for all to live into the fullness of their identities, are she and her. We are so glad that each one of you is here today. If you are a newcomer, we hope you'll keep coming back and find that this place can be your place. If you're a long-timer, and it's already your place, you already know where all the bathrooms are, so you're good. Then be the ambassadors and the helpers for our newcomers, because it's always hard to ask where the bathrooms are. So a moment about placement. If you are a person who gets chilled easily, I invite you to move forward, because we have fans at the top that are pushing the warm air down. If you are a person that wilts if it's too warm, you're going to be slightly more comfortable toward the back. So if you need to shuffle, nobody's judging you one way or the other. I might make a list, but I won't judge. When we do gather, we are brought together by sounds, the sounds of one another's voices as we come in, the sound of laughter, the sound of children. All of these are a beautiful cacophony of the gathered community. And so, again, do what you need to do. We have assistive hearing devices, headset thingies at the back, and our usher would be more than happy to make it so that you can have the best possible experience while you're here today. For those of us gathered here in the chapel, I invite you to place your phones, I like to call it worship mode, call it what you will, airplane mode, or if you're really adventurous, you could turn it off. I know. I'll try to remind you at the end of the service to turn them back on, because I also know how that goes. But we have limited bandwidth, and we do have a wonderful online community that is joining us via live stream and later via YouTube. And we want their experience to be as full and rich as possible. So if you are able, go ahead and live large and turn that phone off or at least down. Everything about our time together has been carefully crafted to create a cohesive experience. And so let yourself relax. Be present. Be present to what's happening around you and to what is unfolding within you. And if nothing's unfolding except maybe a growly stomach because you didn't have time for breakfast, just know that someone near you is having that unfolding experience, and what a privilege it is to bear witness to that. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, whomever you love, you are welcome in this place. Oopsie. There we go. Lest I think I messed it up. There we go. When we gather, we employ elements of water and fire to create the sacred space where we can be fully present. So we begin with an acknowledgement of the land. And so I invite our chalice lighting, fire bringing family. What do you? On any of them? That's not a thing I can do anything about. I will notice that also if you're seated in the back, you have there are fewer speakers to actually get the sound to you minus the ear doodahs. So if you're having a hard time, again, I know it, I'm a broken record. I'm like, come forward, but it really is a better experience. And Les is doing something upstairs to maybe make those earphony things work. Okay, so meanwhile, We begin with an acknowledgement that our church is built on holy ground, on land that was nurtured and cultivated by those who occupied it before us. And so we pour this libation as our giveaway, as we honor the struggle of all people seeking justice and peace. We seek the courage and wisdom to heal the wounds of the past and build a better future story with all our neighbors and fellow creatures together. And once we have acknowledged the land, acknowledging that it does not belong to us, we belong to it, it is our custom to light a chalice. The chalice is a cup or a vessel that symbolizes the gathered community. The flame represents the spark that each one of us brings to represent the light of truth, the warmth of community, and the fire of our commitment to bring more justice and peace to the world. I invite you to join me in our chalice lighting words. We gather this hour as people of faith, with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of the life we share together. Les, do we think we have power now to the ear thingies? Okay. Ron, can you confirm? Can you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Woo, we're good. That means, you know what that means? It means it's time to sing. It always means it's time to sing when I'm around. So our gathering, this music can be found in the gray hymnal, number 407. And it will also be projected up front. And it is a song that needs a little bit of energy. So, I don't know, bring what you can, okay? Here we go, rise and body your spirit. May be seated. Oopsie daisy. Don't break the technology, Michelle. When we gather, it is our custom to gather around a table, a welcome table, if you were. It's the place where we can bring our whole selves, all of the joys, concerns, and sorrows, all of the complicated feelings of what is happening in our world, what is happening in our own lives. And this is the place where we can lay that burden down or put that joyful blue stone knowing something wonderful has happened in my life and I want to acknowledge it. Whatever you bring, Wherever you are in your journey today, you are welcome to bring your whole self into the heart of UU Amherst. So as the music plays, I invite you to come forward as you will. Place the final stone in recognition of those who are joining us online. Know that you are held in this community, that you are part of this community. Let's share a few breaths as we expand our circle to include those who may not be present physically, but whom we are carrying in our hearts. We bring into our circle of love and care those who are ill and those who are caring for them. Those who are in pain, either in body or in spirit. Those who are lonely. Those who are overwhelmed and feeling lost. Those who have been wronged. We are part of a web of life that makes us one with all humanity, one with all the universe. We are grateful for the miracle of consciousness that we share, the consciousness that gives us the power to remember, to love, to care. May it ever be so in our lives. Amen and blessed be. All right, if we can round up kids, I'd love to have them all come up here. Otherwise, I'm going to talk to myself a lot. That would be sad. So, I do have something intriguing. Just ask me. I'll tell you. It's intriguing. I have a wonder box. I wonder what's in the box. I have a wonder box. I wonder what's in the box. Isn't this a nice box? Oh my goodness. You want to sit on the benches here? You can. Or you can stand, and as long as you don't mess with my technology, we're good. What's inside? I know, it's so exciting. I don't even know. Hey, Poppy. Who wants to help me open it? Yeah, you want to help me open it? Okay. It's kind of tricky. Ooh, where is it? Oh, you found it. Oh, I wonder what it is. You'll never know. I'm not going to show you. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Oh. It's my friend Patsy Packrat. Maybe in a little bit, okay? Right now Mimi's gonna hold it. Oh, now you all know I'm Reverend Mimi. Okay. So isn't this an interesting character? Oh, you want to see the box? You can see the box. Not very interesting now that Patsy's on my hand. So, Patsy Packrat. Packrat. Now. Yeah, I know you want, you can play with him in a little bit. So, pack rats. Are they real rats? Is there such a real thing as a pack rat? There really is. And rats are already, kind of like, ooh, shiny. What's in here? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I don't even know. What is this thing? It's an eraser. Good job, Bowers. There you go. Don't eat it. It's not edible. Children have tried before you. They're not good. They look good. Whoo! I found some random keys that I don't know where they go, but I better keep them in my pocket because, as soon as I give them away, I'll find out what's locked. What else is in here? Oh my goodness, this one's kind of heavy. It's a rock that says, "You rock." I think we'll put that up here so that it can be used when we do the labyrinth. Oh my goodness, there's still more in here. Ooh, this is a very special heart-shaped crystal kind of rock thing. It was not found in nature this way, just in case you're wondering why you never find such awesome rocks. So I once knew a little girl who loved rocks so much. Maybe Patsy could tell the story. I once knew a little girl who loved rocks so much that she would pick them up everywhere she went. Each new rock was the most beautiful rock she had ever seen and must be added to the collection. But rocks are heavy, and littles, well, they can get very tired carrying them. So this little girl, who might be sitting here, would pick up wonderful rocks and then give them to her father to carry, because rocks are heavy and littles get tired. And he was much stronger. And so he would carry the rocks because he was much stronger, but he was also a bit wily. And so, knowing that the little girl would lose interest in whatever that most magnificent rock had been, as soon as she saw another magnificent rock, he would pick them up with one hand and drop them kerplunk on the path with the other. Because maybe that's how rocks get around in the world. They move so slowly on their own that they might need a little help by having us pick them up and love them and dropping them on the path. And, I will admit that the little girl's parents had an affinity for rocks, and that we might have several rock collections in glass jars. They might have several rock collections in glass jars to commemorate special times. Hanging on to beautiful memories. That's another thing we can put in our pack, and it's not very heavy. And so we can learn oh, wait a minute. Oh my goodness, there's one more thing. I know. Oh my goodness. All right, so perhaps someone can carry a pack rat, and I found a light. It is, it's a beautiful candle, because each of you shines with a beautiful light. And as you go off to go to your class, to your activities, it's not really a class, to your fun time, you can take this light with you, and when you come back, you'll bring back your light with it. Okay? Bowers, would you like to carry the light? All right, how about I take the eraser, and you take the light. So let's sing our children to their activities. Go in love our hearts. As we move into the next portion of our service, which includes some wonderful moments that celebrate the milestone of UU Amherst's 70th anniversary. Today is part 2. Last evening we had a program and amazing dinner, and today we're bringing some of the elements from that program into the service. So before we do that, before we receive some congratulatory remarks from the president of our National Association, I need to make space. I need to make space for the collective shock and grief that this community and Unitarian Universalists across our nation, as well as those who we sometimes call UU adjacent, they share our values, although they may have other faith traditions of their own. All of that, all of us, having experienced in the wake of the election results. So I'm always the first to confirm that our values and principles are pretty countercultural, even when the language of them would seem to echo a fundamentally American sentiment. We talk about peace, liberty, and justice. We seek to uphold individual inherent worth and dignity. I kind of always imagine Superman's cape fluttering gently in an unseen breeze when I consider our core values. I've heard it said that when our two faith families merged to create Unitarian Universalism, which has become its own emergent faith, that it arose out of a basic American identity. And perhaps that is why I am so baffled at the outcome of this week's election. Yeah, presidents come and go, but all three branches of government, all those gubernatorial races, and of course the already existing Supreme Court. Leftover political signs seem to sneer at me as I drive by. That tailgating jerk feels threatening. And I am a cisgender straight white woman. I recognize the privilege that those identities afford me, and still, I feel all of that. I can't even imagine. I just can't even imagine. So today, woven in with all of these complicated feelings, we celebrate our gathered community. We honor those who paved the way before us, on whose shoulders we stand. And we will take on the frayed mantle of ministry that our descendants demand from us. We are the future ancestors, the ones who will be lifted up in future celebrations. And I do recognize that I am making some assumptions about the future that may be misplaced or simply naive. So with all of that resting on our shoulders, with all of that, is complicatedness a word? If not, it is today. We make room in our hearts also for appreciation and joy. So I offer to you these opening words, words of joy and congratulations from the president of the Unitarian Universalist Association, our regional representative isn't the right word, fabulous person. Also the president of NISCU, the New York State Convention of Universities. So I offer their words to you.
Beloveds at our UU Church of Amherst, I am so honored to wish you a happy 70th anniversary. What a blessing. I'm the Reverend Dr. Sofia Betancourt. It remains my profound privilege to serve as president of your Unitarian Universalist Association. I'm so excited when I hear from Reverend Michelle about the good shared ministry you are doing, about your Living Green festivals, about the revitalization of religious education, ministry to families, more than anything else, about the renewal of a sense of care, connection, relationship, and warmth in the congregation. I love hearing stories like this, especially as all of us are living into what it means to come back together following the quarantine stage of this ongoing pandemic. UU Church of Amherst, I pray for your next 70 years, for the ministry that you in particular can bring to your surrounding community, to the type of communal care, shared ministry, justice-oriented Unitarian Universalist living that is so blessed, expanded, and renewed when we are in connection with one another. All blessings on this anniversary. I am so grateful that you are part of the living covenant, the freely chosen faith of Unitarian Universalist. None of us can live into these shared values alone, and we are better together. So in the coming months, in the coming years, may your story continue to unfold as a blessing to all that you encounter. Thank you for your support of our UUA. Thank you for your profound ministry.
Hello, UUs of Amherst. I am so sorry I'm not able to be there with you in person, but I am there in spirit. I am so proud of all of the work that you've done in the time that I've known you and worked with you, from the little free pantry, wonderful labyrinth and space of connection with nature in the back of your property, to all of the wonderful work that you've done to build, to step up during the pandemic with all of the wonderful technology you've installed, and just the sense of community that I experience every time I walk through your doors. So blessings today and for the next 70 years.
Hello, UU Amherst. I bring greetings and congratulations from the New York State Convention of Universalists. I'm Ann Rohde, and I currently serve as president of NISCU. For 70 years now, UU Amherst has been carrying the key Universalist message that there is a love that is large enough to hold everyone. I'm sure you've felt that love and seen it on display, whether you've been at this congregation for many years or whether you've just joined. We at NISCU saw your love and hospitality a few weeks ago when you generously hosted our annual meeting. UUs from around the region were treated to the warmth of your people, the beauty of your building, and the natural wonder of your grounds. So happy 70th birthday. May you celebrate with joy and with hope for what the future holds. Best blessings from all of us at NISCU.
And now we're going to sing again. The tune will be familiar if you are familiar with Louis Armstrong's What a Wonderful World. So decades ago, Jerry Kent, not that Jerry Kent, but the father of that Jerry Kent and Barry Kent and Randy Kent and their other siblings, wrote new words to celebrate life here at UU Amherst. And so I invite you, I think we should probably stay seated so that everybody can see the screens, because that's where the new and improved lyrics exist. All right, let's see how we do. I see streams of wood, workbenches too. They warm this room for me and you. And I say to myself, what a wonderful church. I see walls and I say to myself, what a wonderful church. We sing about the rainbow and bluebird fantasies. It puts smiles upon our faces and wakens memories. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. We hear babies cry. We watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we'll ever know. And we say to ourselves, what a wonderful church. I see trees of green, bright flowers too, and nature's sky is all shades of blue. And I say to myself, what a wonderful world. We see seasons change, green turns to brown, red and gold leaves soon cover the ground. Wonderful one. What a beautiful world. What a beautiful world. Then gently comes a snowfall, so softly from the sky. It calls to mind the parties on frosty nights gone by. I see friends sitting close, sharing body warmth too. They're sharing, saying, I love you, as we cherish life with reverent view. When life is o'er, we celebrate too, and we say to you all, what a wonderful church. Nice job. So on the screen right now is a fabulous, colorful mural with so many symbols and so much energy and flow. If you're new to UU Amherst, you may not know that this mural is at the top of the stairs to our classroom wing. And you are officially invited to snoop around or ask a long timer, because stand in front of this whole wall of fabulous. And what it says is, we are Unitarian Universalist, and we contain multitudes, if I can borrow from Walt Whitman. This really is a wonderful church, congregation, gathering place. I've heard stories of friendships formed, life partners discovered, and parties that could make a preacher blush. And for as wonderful as they are, for me, stories. Photographs in someone else's cherished album. Don't get me wrong. Those photographs, stories, and memories are sacred. We treasure them, and we learn from them. When I arrived 9.5 years ago, the edges of were frayed, like my stole. 3 years of transitional ministry had not healed the wounds or the threat of schism. And it wasn't just the deferred maintenance of broken relationships. Our buildings were suffering from neglect. And I swear, on my first day on the job, one of the slate tiles on the roof from the mansion part plunged to the ground just inches from me. To my credit, even though I am a person who pays attention to signs and wonders, I did not turn around and drive home. Throughout, folks at the regional office advised me to be a Mary Poppins or a Nanny McPhee, and to bring some order to a system that wasn't too enthused about being a system, much less having to be orderly. So I did the only thing I knew how to do, and that was to talk endlessly about covenant. And then we created covenant groups, and then we got serious about creating our shared covenant, a sacred promise of how we would aspire to be with one another. You see, covenants are aspirational. They are promises, but they're looking forward. Aspirational in that we know we don't have all the capacity yet to fulfill all the pieces, but we're going to work on it. One of the things I learned from Mary Poppins is that promises are important, and one should not make pie crust promises, easily made and easily broken. It took us 9 months, a full program year, to arrive at words that we felt most clearly defined us and called us to our higher selves, individually and as a faith community. So I invite you, whether today is your first day or you have lost track of the years, I invite you to share these aspirational words with me. Together we promise to gather in compassionate community, to celebrate diversity of thought and unity of spirit, and to seek wholeness for ourselves, our children, and our world. I hope you can feel the quiet power in those few phrases. They call us to be our best selves and to do the inner work of our own wholeness, even as we open our hearts to one another. And throughout the wobbly years that preceded me and our together, through broken roof slates and pie crust promises, humanity's commitment to social justice never wavered. Y'all did the hard work of attaining green sanctuary status. Oh, by the way, this labyrinth is one of 3 in our ecology center. It's probably harder to find right now because it's covered with leaves, but you can go back there and walk the approximation. It's a fabulous labyrinth. So y'all did the hard work of attaining green sanctuary status from the Unitarian Universalist Association. And that was arduous work, and it demanded a commitment of time, dollars, and physical labor. How many of y'all were around and involved in any way whatsoever with the Green Sanctuary Project? There we go. You don't have to be shy. Yes, it's okay. No, I'm not going to make you do something new. Yes, yay. Yes. And that's just a fraction of the people, because you just would not leave the list of things to accomplish to be called a Green Sanctuary congregation. The solar panels on the roof of the administrative and classroom wing are an of what this congregation can do when vision and leadership inspire the group to do big things. And there have been moments that could have broken this congregation. The decision to put up a sign was not an easy one, and it was not unanimous. Although the vote achieved the supermajority to move forward, the fact remained that the supermajority was achieved by 1 vote. Those who remained opposed grumbled that 1 vote was not enough to move forward, and those who felt compelled to move forward noted that it was a 2/3 majority. And so we put up the sign, and then the sign was vandalized. So many were afraid that something terrible would happen, that the police would not respond to an emergency, that UU Amherst would be a target for hate and violence. And I know that there are some among us who still have that sharp taste in their mouths, some for putting up the sign in the first place, and others for not having a Black Lives Matter presence on the new electronic sign. After all, the congregation voted to have a sign. I point this out because it can be tempting to paint a milestone with glittery rainbows and only remember what was lovely, even when the loveliness might be some residue from our own rosy glasses. So what I want you to hear is that while there has been friendship, parties, and the satisfaction of doing good in the world, there have been times when the only thing that kept this congregation together was the shared commitment to remain in covenant, to let our sacred promise live in us and through us. Dissent need not be destructive. We've learned that. We value that. One of our core values as a faith community and as a national association and across the world is the democracy. And we borrow the words attributed to Francis David, who said, "We need not think alike to love alike." Francis David lived in the mid-16th century. He was the advisor to King Sigismund of Transylvania. I know, isn't it awesome? Our roots go to Transylvania. And I managed to say Transylvania without sounding like Dracula, because sometimes I can't stop myself. But our King John, that there ought not to be any boundaries around people's faith. And he in particular said, how about we add Unitarianism and then add to that an edict of tolerance that says who and what you believe is your business. I paraphrase that. That's really not what he said. But we do believe that we need not think alike to love alike, whether that's within these walls or out in the wider community. When our Black Lives Matter sign was defaced, members of clergy in the immediate Williamsville area reached out, and we decided that this was something we could all come together about. We need not think alike to love alike. And so we made up lawn signs, and they passed them out in their congregations, and we passed them out here. They were all over the community. And I just can't tell you the tickle in my whole body every time I would drive past one of those signs and be like, I love it. Sometimes you can still see at North Presbyterian, they will put it on their roadside sign. Because what better way to talk about an interfaith community, a web of commitment and compassion? Ellen?
I'm wondering, is this after the George Floyd killing? Because there was
Yeah.
rioting and
Yes.
marches and stuff, and I think that's what polarized all of us.
Yes. And for our online folks who may not hear that, it was just asked if the defacing of the Black Lives Matter sign and the subsequent really good reaction of we need not think alike was came to being out of the George Floyd killing. Thank you. Oh, Michelle, you're so grim today. Ooh, we came this morning hoping for a party, maybe just a pat on the head and an affirmation that we are good and faithful servants to the cause of humanity and to saving the planet. And you're right. We need some perspective. Which feels like a fine time to go down another history route and invoke the words of American author, historian, and Unitarian minister, Edward Everett Hale. He lived between 1822 and 1909, meaning he was well into adulthood during the American Civil War. He served as the chaplain of the United States Senate from 1903 until his death. And I wonder what kind of guidance that he gave to that fractious branch of government having lived through a time of deep division and polarization in this country. He wrote, "I am only one, but still I am one. I cannot do everything, but still I can do something. And because I cannot do everything, I will not refuse to do the something that I can do." Those words so often inspire us to action, and right now they seem so naive in light of the present moment. I mean, at Hale's death in 1909, there were just 1.6 billion people on the planet. So maybe then an individual could hope to make a difference. But now, current estimates put the world population at 8.2 billion, with a projection of over 10 billion when this congregation celebrates its 120th anniversary in 50 years. So this is what my brain says. One singular effort is a drop in a bucket, of a bucket, of a bucket, ad infinitum. And individual change is important. Congregational change is important, but we need sweeping change. Imagine, for those of you who have a soft spot in your heart for the abolition of plastic, the abolishment of plastic. Wow, yeah. You can drop your cell phones and your hearing aids in the basket at the back of the church. Don't forget your pacemakers. Everything's plastic. So now imagine what that looks like when you get home. Ugh, what has to go? I'm going to with ink already in them. Windshield wipers, snow brushes, fleece blankets. Do your kids or grandkids have toys? Pretty much anything that's not a wooden block or a faceless rag doll is going to have to go. No plastics. And even if we manage to halt the production of everything made of plastic, what to do about the mountains of it that already exist? And how do we stop the next Dr. Evil who invents the next version of plastic that skirts around some laws and some aspects of how it's made, refilling our homes and landfills and oceans that makes life so darn convenient? Oh my goddess, we are in so much trouble. So, I'm not going to leave you there, right? I have to take you there, and now help you out. So I think back to the early 1990s, lifetimes ago, when I was one of a few people in the grocery store with my own canvas bags. I felt self-conscious and imagined others noting and whispering words like hippie, or worse, granola. Granola, that was meant to say something like you live in a commune and eat. And now everybody brings their bags to the store. Well, not everybody. The paper bags have returned. We had a moment of inviting people to rise with Edward Everett Hale, to commit to doing the something we could do. I'm only one, but still I am one. I'm only one, but still I am one. On Wednesday morning, I took down my Harris sign. I could not bear the thought of passersby scoffing at what they might call a loser, and that I saw as a valiant warrior against the tide of inhumanity in the form of, really the list is much too long, but Project 2025 comes to mind. I still haven't listened to Harris's concession speech. I can't, although I hear it was inspiring. I took down the sign, but I left up my flag. But it might not be the one you're thinking of. This is outside my house, and the flag is a diversity flag. I'm pretty sure that my house is the only one in my extended neighborhood, let's call that, Erie County, the flag like this one. And I know that there are other subversive flags out there. I see you and I celebrate with you. It takes a lot of courage, depending where you live and how you represent in the world. And I wonder, because I really like this flag, it's all colorful. It might be not the same flag, it's just the same design. But what would it be like to have something out in the wider community, kind of everywhere you go, that clearly spells out our values of kindness, peace, equality, love, inclusion, hope, and diversity, just springing up everywhere, as ubiquitous as the stars and stripes? Sure, when there are just a few, we're the weirdos. But when they show up all over like dandelions, then it becomes a movement. So as a disclaimer, I did not create this flag. I do not get any residuals from the people who made the flag. I just really like it. And I ask you, whether it's this or something else that brings that subversive element into people's lives, that element of we need not think alike to love alike, that element of diversity is good, it beautifies the pattern. Wouldn't it be fun to gift the people that you're going to give holiday gifts to anyways? Something like that. Spread those little dandelion seeds out in the community. I'm loving it. I don't know if dandelion seeds, I don't know anything. But I do know that we could start a movement, and why not? Why not? So, what would you wish for as we blow out the 70 candles on the cake of our birthday celebration? Would you wish for more love? Would you wish for more hope, more peace? Those are my wishes for you, for us, and for those who will come after us. May we know more love.
There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more hope somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more joy somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There's more peace somewhere there is more love, somewhere there is more love, somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere.
Let's just breathe that in for a moment. Transitions from beauty into tasks are always a little bit of a speed bump. So I'm grateful for that moment. The children have arrived again. Yay! Making time for an offering of gifts and pledges is an opportunity for us to live into our core value of generosity. Our generosity connects us to one another in relationships of interdependence and mutuality. This congregation exists because of you, the acts of service you engage in, and your generous contributions. Every aspect of congregational life is made possible by you. So I have 3 offering baskets. If you'd like to help pass the offering. All right. No, she's not sending another basket around. One offering is the deal. It's the agreement. But these, in this box, and these offering baskets, they're little tea light candles. And so I'm going to need more help. Don't smart remarks about how much help I need. But if I... Oh, you didn't even go there. Oh, that's good. I set myself up. So if I could have a total of 4 people again. Here's one, and here's Marie. So that we can help out. I love that, Bowers. Okay. Oh, I didn't save myself one. Okay. So are you going to play guitar for this little light of mine?
Yeah,
Okay, all right. So I'm not sure if we're tuned together. Right. I'm just wondering about the tuning between you and the piano. That's my wondering. But we can just have it be guitar. It doesn't matter. So while they're sorting out the music part of it, I invite you to light your candle, your little tea light. They're kind of stiff, and so if you're having trouble, hand it to somebody else, and they will light it for you and give it back, because that's community. Okay, so 2 weeks ago, when we had the New York Convention of Universalists here, I tried to think of, we're not a gaggle of geese, we're not a mob of kangaroos. What would it be for, at the time, Universalist? But I'm going to add our whole faith family, Unitarian Universalist, and actually widening that to all those who value peace and love and inclusion and diversity and kindness and all the things. And how each one of us is a bright light in that. And I decided that the word that would best describe us is radiance. Of radiance. We are a radiance. And so we're going to sing This Little Light of Mine, and we're going to be radiant. And then I'm going to come back and read a poem, because, this has a limited zone. Okay, so shall we sing This Little Light of Mine? It's 118 in the gray hymnal. Do you feel standy-uppy? Let's standy-uppy. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Bum, bum, bum. Building up a world. Careful the fire. I'm gonna let
Are you going to do
shine.
Don't You Going? That was my favorite verse. I'm thinking for change.
Don't chase me. Don't chase me. Let it shine. First verse again. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, thank you. Okay. I'm all going to, go ahead and sit down. All right, okay, we're so close to the end. Help me. I don't think that's what she said, but that's what I heard. So I want to share with you a poem from Shalane Hargan, and then we will extinguish our chalice. It's when the earth shakes and foundations crumble that our light is called to rise up. It's when everything falls away and shakes us to the core and awakens all of our hidden ghosts that we dig deeper to find once inaccessible strength. It's in times when division is fierce that we must reach for each other and hold each other much, much tighter. Do not fall away now. This is the time to rise. Your light is being summoned. Your integrity is being tested, that it may stand more tall. When everything collapses, we must find within us that which is indomitable. Rise and find the strength in your heart. Rise and find the strength in each other. Burn through your devastation. Make it your fuel. Bring forth your light. Now is not a time to be afraid of the dark. Please join me as we extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame. As our service draws to a close, our service to the world is ready to begin. A hearty thank you to all who have made this anniversary, birthday, all the celebratory fabulousness weekend such a success. I know if you dare, I'd love to have you stand up. If you're shy, you can just look around and go, I don't know, but we're going to applaud for the people that have helped. So. Just a reminder that our annual generosity and stewardship campaign is underway. You'll find forms out in the lobby. Feel free. It would be fabulous to have you be part of what builds the next 70 years. You're going to find so many opportunities for growth and connection, and you can find them on your order of service, on our website, and in the newsletter. So there's no excuse. So we'd love to see you be more involved. Please rise and body your spirit as we sing our closing blessing. Travel light and travel easy till I see once again. Travel light and travel easy. And remember I'm your friend. May the road rise up to greet you as you leave your past behind. I will think about you gently, and I'll hold you in my arms. Twinkle your eyes at one another. The blessing of truth be upon us, the power of love direct us and sustain us, and may the peace of this community preserve our going out and coming in from this time forth until we meet again. And you may take your radiance with you if you would like to have that moment of wonderfulness, or you are also welcome to bring them up here. It is your choice. Go in peace, have some coffee.